The roar of Merlin engines thundered across the skies of Germany in early 1945, as four red-tailed P-51 Mustangs cut through the clouds at 20,000 feet. The Tuskegee Airmen, America's first all-black fighter squadron, flew with nerves of steel and something to prove. Captain Ezra "Hawk" Jefferson, a 26-year-old from Alabama, led the flight formation. His canopy reflected the early morning sun, and beneath his oxygen mask, his eyes were sharp, focused like a bird of prey. They were escorting a formation of B-17 Flying Fortresses en route to bomb a German jet fuel facility near Regensburg. Intel warned of Luftwaffe resistance, but nothing could have prepared them for what was about to hit the skies. "Stay tight, Red Flight," Ezra radioed. "We keep the fort safe, no matter what." A static-laced acknowledgement came through. "Roger that, Hawk. Let's show 'em what the red tails are made of." At 20,000 feet, the horizon shimmered, and then suddenly, like ghosts out of mist, 6 silver streaks burst from the clouds with unnatural speed. Messerschmitt Me-262s, the world's first operational jet fighters, armed with 30mm cannons and the speed to outmatch any propeller-driven plane. The lead B-17 pilot screamed over the radio, "Bogies! Fast! 11 o'clock high! Break! Break!" Ezra shouted, rolling his P-51 hard left into the dive. The air exploded in cannon fire. One B-17's left wing shredded in an instant, spiraling to earth in flames. The Me-262s had arrived like wolves into a flock of sheep. Ezra's Mustang shook as he pushed it to its limits. The jets were faster, but not invincible. Their weakness? Slow turns and vulnerable takeoffs and landings. He remembered the briefing. "Come on, baby," he muttered, pulling up behind one of the Me-262s as it lined up another bomber. He squeezed the trigger. .50 caliber machine guns spat fire. Tracers lit the sky. Sparks exploded across the jet's fuselage. The German peeled off, smoke trailing, but Ezra couldn't tell if he got him. "Hawk, this is Hound. I've got one on me. He's too fast." That was First Lieutenant Arlo Hound Green, Ezra's wingman, only 22 but fearless. Ezra looked left, saw Hound twisting violently with a Me-262 gaining position. "I see you, Hound. Bring him toward me." The sky became a ballet of death. Ezra cut across the path of the jet, firing a wild burst that startled the pilot. The Me-262 veered off, retreating temporarily. Hound leveled out, trailing smoke but alive. "Thanks, Hawk. You saved my hide." "We're not out yet," Ezra replied grimly. At the same moment, 10,000 feet below, Colonel Dieter Weiss, a veteran Luftwaffe ace, barked orders into his radio. He flew one of the Me-262s, a sleek killer, faster than anything in the sky. But he respected the red tails. "They fight with fire," he'd once told his men. "Do not underestimate the black pilots. They are warriors." Ezra spotted him before he knew who he was. A Me-262 slicing upward toward him with uncanny precision. He had never seen one flown like this. They met head-on. Time slowed. Guns erupted. Ezra banked hard. The Me-262 chased. The hunter became the hunted. Down below, bombers finally released their payloads. The fuel plant erupted in massive fireballs. But the escort fighters were scattered, bleeding. One red tail, Lieutenant Raymond "Dice" Carter, was hit, both wings shredded. His Mustang spiraled. "I'm hit. I can't pull out," he shouted. Ezra, still in a deadly spiral dance with the ace, made a gut-wrenching choice. He broke off pursuit, rocketing toward Dice's smoking aircraft. "Bail out, Dice." "No shoot." Dice coughed. "Gone with the last hit." Silence. Then a scream of rage. Ezra watched helplessly as Dice's plane exploded against a hillside. Fury consumed him. The red tail of his Mustang flared against the sunrise as he turned back, hunting the Me-262 that took Dice's life. He found him. Weiss, the German ace, turned to meet him in a head-on charge. Propeller thunder met jet shriek. Both pilots fired. Ezra's bullets tore into the Me-262's right engine. The jet jerked, black smoke coiling behind it. But not before Weiss's cannon burst hit Ezra's 51 square in the fuselage. Warning lights blinked. Oil pressure dropped. The Mustang shuddered. Ezra's hands gripped the stick. "Come on, don't you dare die now." The Me-262 began to dive away. Ezra, trailing smoke and leaking fuel, followed, a dying eagle refusing to fall. He fired a final burst. Boom! The jet's wing tore away. Weiss ejected, parachute billowing. Ezra watched the wreckage fall. "Hawk, you okay?" Hound's voice was frantic. Ezra's engine was failing. Flames licked the cockpit. He opened the canopy, the wind blasting his face. "I'm going down. Near the ridge. Tell command, mission successful." "No. We'll guide you home." "Too late, Hound. I've got one last glide in me." He pointed the nose toward a clearing. Minutes later, Ezra crash-landed in a field outside a burning village. The Mustang skidded, flipped, metal shrieked. Everything went black. Ezra woke in a haze. Pain. Smoke. But he was alive. He staggered out, just as German civilians emerged from cellars, wide-eyed at the black American pilot in their midst. They didn't raise hands. They didn't scream. They helped him. One old woman offered a cloth. A young boy offered water. War had taken everything from them too. 2 days later, Allied troops arrived. Ezra was rescued, badly wounded but alive. He would spend 6 months recovering in England before returning home to the U.S., where the Red Tails were finally hailed as heroes. Ezra stood at Arlington National Cemetery, dressed in crisp blues, a cane at his side. He saluted as a flag was handed to Dice Carter's mother. She turned to him, tears flowing. "He said you were the best of them," she whispered. "No, ma'am," Ezra said softly. "He was." Years later, in a small museum in Tuskegee, Alabama, a young boy stared at a weathered red-tailed P-51 model and a faded photo of Captain Ezra Jefferson. His teacher leaned down. "That man fought jets with a propeller plane and won." The boy's eyes widened. "Was he scared?" "Maybe," she replied. "But he flew anyway." Decades after the war, an aged Ezra received a letter from Dieter Weiss, now a retired professor in Munich. The letter read, "You fought with honor. I saw it in your eyes. I have taught my grandchildren about that day, the red tail who would not fall. If only our leaders had half your courage, perhaps the world might have bled less. We were enemies that day, but warriors always recognize each other. Your friend died with dignity. I honor him as I honor you." Ezra folded the letter slowly. His hands trembled, not from age, but memory. He whispered, "Even enemies remember the brave."